Welcome to Amateur Redneck Workshop. I'm Harold, and I'm trying not to stand in front of Chuck's sticker. That's it right up there, and it's kind of hard for me to do. If I move right, I'd go the other way in the camera, so you know it's confusing as everything, especially for a redneck. And went yesterday. Me and the boss lady went down to Whataburger, which is where us rednecks in Texas like to get our hamburgers, and we had finished up our burger pretty much, except I was still on my fries. The boss lady had finished up, and she says, well, I'm going to go wash my hands. And I thought, okay. And she had been sitting there speculating, well, look at all those trash bins are full, and those lazy people are just standing around shooting the bull. Well, when she come back, she sat down and she says, well, I told them to empty the trash bins. And I thought, oh my God, you know, and I looked around, and sure enough, here come three of them with black trash bags, and you know they were getting after it. And I know that she's the boss around here, but she is undoubtedly the bossiest woman I've ever met in my whole life. If you ever meet her, she'll probably tell you what to do or where to go. So that's the way it goes. All right, let's get on here with trying to make a ball turner and see if I can come out with anything worth the darn or not. Well, we'll find out, I guess. Let's get on with it. The mini pallet there is just right for holding down odd shapes. Got a couple of bolts in there to hold back on the pressure going that way, and then I'll put a couple of clamps over it. But in my supreme laziness, I've neglected to make any clamps, so I got to make a couple of makeshift clamps real quick. I'm just going to cut them out of a piece of scrap metal, drill a hole in each end, and bolt them over it there. Alright, so I sawed off a couple of pieces of metal here, and I'm going to pick a couple of spots that are sort of close to being together. I marked it for the center, or at least I'll know where the center's at, and then I will make the holes 3.5 inches apart. And that should work out for me pretty well. Okay. Knocking a dent in that hard crust is a job, but alright. Now that I'll mark her off to 3.5 inches this way and drill a couple of holes, then we'll have our clamps. So I'll let you sleep until I get the clamps over there on the mini pallet. I got the vise set so that I can come down and hit the same spot every time. Make sure I've got it locked underneath. This thing will rotate in all kinds of directions. Alright, so got it locked there. Here, we got clamps on it, so we should be okay. Well, I bet you're wondering if I drilled a hole in my vise. Well, I didn't. I've got a little V shape there just for that sort of thing. So I didn't drill a hole in my vise at all. Alright, so they'll do this 3 more times. Alright, so my last minute hold downs are on there, and they will keep it pretty steady. And I've got a bolt on each side, you know, over here in the front of it, so when I go cutting that away, the pressure will be against them also. So this guy shouldn't go anywhere. You notice I didn't say I guarantee it won't, because I found a long time ago, every time you guarantee something won't happen, it will, you know, or not every time, but lots of times. So let me get the little center finder, and we'll find the edge of this thing and get started cutting a groove in it. One of the things I got to do, I've got Y set for 0, but that's at the edge of that little tip. That little tip was 200 thousandths, so I got to come over 100 thousandths to actually be at the real 0, the center mark of it. So we'll come right on over. Now then, that puts us right at the center of the edge. And so when I get there, I'm going to zero that again, and then we'll have to position our tool bit. Come over with it to, I better measure this thing and find out exactly how far it is to the exact center. Let me get a micrometer and measure it. Alright, so I've got roughly the Z0 set there. Of course, it's not going to be exactly right because I used this piece of paper. That'll knock it off about 4 thousandths. But the good thing is that we can come back and use a real depth micrometer and find out how deep it really is, because I'm going to go to about 500 thousandths or 499, something like that. Not too terribly deep. Alright, so let's get started. Now that's not bad for the first cut, I guess. I may move you guys around to the other side where you can get probably, maybe a better view. I don't know. Well, this may not be a better view, but it's a different view. So we'll try that a little bit. Cutting 100 thousandths works, so I'll cut another 100 thousandths. Alright, I'm making all of my cuts in this direction because I've got these two bolts here that act as stops, so that it tries to push in here and push against these two bolts. I think this is probably a good strategy. Now I'm going to just keep on going back and forth like this. So once again, I'm going to put you to sleep and I'll bring you back when I get down close to the bottom. Okay, so with the use of a depth micrometer, I've deburred this thing. I'm going to measure on the burr again. Set it in here and bring it down against it. And it says 408 thousandths. I don't know if you can read that, but these read the opposite direction from a regular micrometer, with the whole movement being out here and the less being over here. I guess, anyway, you can see the numbers run backwards. Alright, so I want to go down to right at 500 thousandths. So I'm going to change, and well, maybe I'll go down another 50, and then I'll put in a finishing end mill, half-inch finishing end mill. That's what I'll do. I'll run it down another 50 thousandths, and then we'll finish it off with a better end mill. Remember, this guy's 500 or about 540 thousandths wide, so I'll have to make that slot just a little bit bigger than a half-inch, and I hope a tight fit. Alright, so I swapped out the roughing end mill for a nice smooth finishing end mill, so we're going to give that a shot through there, and then I'll measure it and we'll try to get down to the final depth. Alright, I'll get the depth micrometer and I'll make sure I'm deburred, and I'll measure down in there and we'll see just how close we are to finished. Alright, according to the micrometer, it's 523 thousandths deep. I mean 473 thousandths deep. I'll get it right in a minute. Alright, So I need to take just a little bit more off of it.
Alright, time for more measuring.
Alright, I'm at 490.496. So it's really close. I may go down a couple more thousandths, but that's it. We're deep enough now, so what I'm doing now is I'm cutting some off this side over toward the front here. And then I'll go back and I'll cut some off the back side until we get, you know, the same amount off each side. Until we hit the size of this little burger right here. All the cuts from here will be getting wider in my teeth. Alright, I'll take this little fella right here, I'll clean out the gap and I'll shove him in there and we'll see just how wide the slot is. Take a little nap. Alright, we finished the slot down in the middle of the hockey puck. Just a few trips, moving a thousandth or two one direction or the other to the side until things fit. And now I'm going to cut a little ledge off there so I'll have a place to go through with the grub screws to hold everything in position. Alright, I need to realign things here. I moved it a little bit. So here we go. We've got it down to 500 thousandths. Needs a little clean up on the side there. We'll do that in just a second. Right here, we'll put a grub screw, grub screw, grub screw. These will hold everything together. Hold our little post up right at the spot where we want it. And so I guess I'm going to clean all the chips up and deburr it. And then we'll do another setup on the thing with it down in the vise so I can drill down into it for the grub screws.
Last summer, they found Ole laying in his front yard by an overturned paint can, and they called 911 and took him in an ambulance to the emergency room. So when they got there, they treated him for heat stroke. And once he got all stabilized and talking good, well, the ER doctor, he says, Ole says, why was you wearing so much heavy winter clothing in the summer like this? Ole said, well, he says, it was on the paint can. The paint can said to put on 2 coats.
Well, that's all, folks. Y'all try to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Leave a comment if you got something to say. And above all, remember, keep on keeping on. Bye now.